I'd like to now recognize Dr. Kennedy for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thanks to our witnesses for being here today. 3 out of 4 weeks of the month, I come to Washington myself from Utah, and I recognize what a challenge it is for us to get here. So wherever you come from, thank you very much for coming here and giving us your testimony. Thinking a lot about the theme, and Mr. Chair, thank you for convening this, because the theme is how can we presently pay honor and respect to the past, and that is the ancient past. If we talk about the Canyonlands and Arches National Monuments, the Mighty Five that are in the state of Utah, where I represent 2 out of the 5 amazing national parks. These are millions of years old history, and then the more recent past, considering World War II and Churchill and so on. And I'm really grateful that we as a society can consider presently how do we honor those that came in the past, considering the fact that the past informs the present on a regular basis. And that's, I think, an undercurrent associated with what we're doing today. So thanks so much for being here today. And I'm grateful to have the opportunity to talk a bit about something that I think is really important. Ms. Randall, thanks for being willing to talk to us about our national parks. I'm interested in your, so a couple components of your testimony. One is just, tell me about what it means to an average person who's never seen a places like Arches National Monument or Zion National Park. What does it mean to those people to come and witness and experience something like that? Can you give me a sense of that? Because you spoke about it some in your testimony. And I think of my first time going to these places, and it's unexpressible until you've experienced it yourself. It's almost like witnessing the birth of a baby or having a baby yourself. These are things that you can, in theory, kind of understand, but to stand in front of Delicate Arch, which I'm interested in how many are in the room have actually seen any of these places. And I'll just say to you, if you haven't, you really need to make it a once-in-a-lifetime experience of having to get to one of these places. The dark sky experience that you're describing as well. These are unexpressible experiences that until you've witnessed the grandeur, the glory associated with that, then you're missing out. And I'll say the birth of a baby is an amazing experience. So I'll liken those. I've delivered babies, so I just think babies are great, and I think Arches National Park is also great. So, Ms. Randall, would you, for those of us especially that haven't had that experience, tell me about what that is like for these people to have that experience the first time?
Of course. Thank you for the question, Dr. Kennedy. And it's an honor, too, to be with 2 of our representatives for our state that represent all of our 5 national parks. Again, there's 13 other national areas as well that would be accessible as a result of this act, too. At the Utah Office of Tourism, our mission is to be a state united and welcoming the world to experience awe-inspiring adventure. And that awe-inspiring adventure is truly what it is. As you mentioned, it's transformational. I have a son. I won't dive into what you mentioned that experience was like, but I took him for the first time. Both of you know I'm from San Juan County, down in that region, and we oftentimes forget about what's in our backyard. As a result, my 8-year-old has never been to Arches, so we took him for the first time a couple weekends ago. We've, of course, enjoyed the backcountry of Canyonlands. I've backpacked with him through that area. And to walk around that bend and see Delicate Arch through his eyes was truly transformational. And to have that opportunity to share that with my son and the future generation of Utahns. And I think about the economic impact that has as well. This allows for our communities and our generations, especially in rural Utah, to not be exported children, to find opportunities as a result of this positive asset that we've been given at the state of Utah.
Thanks, marvelous. And yeah, to walk around that bend, and it takes work. For any that haven't been to Arches, you need to know it takes work to get to Delicate Arch. You're not gonna find it an easy experience. It's dry, it's dusty, it's a little bit altitude, but it's an amazing experience. It's doable for everybody in this room, and for most people that listen to me, it's doable. And I would encourage you to try. I don't want to dissuade you from doing that, but. So I've been to the Churchill Museum in England, and I just find Winston Churchill to be an amazing person. The World War II Rosies that we're talking about, the fact that these people, they don't get all the glory, laud, and honor associated with the people that wielded guns in World War II, But the reality is that they were vital to the work that we did. And I always am talking about John Adams and John Quincy Adams when I take people on the tour as well at the Capitol. So all four of you represent something really important, and I'm appreciative of the work that you're doing and supportive of that. And I'll particularly congratulate my colleague from Utah for this opportunity for people to go to something that once you've experienced the national parks and you get a sense of the small human nature of an individual, and that things long after we're dead and long before we were born, that these things are present, that all of a sudden our perspective can change and we can take life more seriously for the precious gift that it is, because it's very limited when you look at something that's been existent, like the Delicate Arch, that's been existent for millions of years, and it will be existent long after we're gone from this place. Mr. Chair, thank you very much for allowing me to speak a bit, and thanks to our witnesses for being here today.